Good evening, everyone. I decided to do a quick video before I, lay down and watch me some YouTube or Paramount Plus. We'll see. And also, I just want to say I hope you all are staying safe and warm out there. And if you have to drive on this ice or in this horrible weather, please, please, please take your time. Don't worry about people trying to intimidate you, honking their horns and stuff. They can go around you. It's not worth getting into an accident over because somebody's acting silly. Okay, I'm going to pick up where I left off really quick. Like I said, the second time my kids got taken away, it took me a year and a half to get them back. I mean, in the beginning of that year and a half, my soon-to-be ex-husband, Jay, he was, all ready to comply with CPS and do the services that they had wanted him to do. And then all of a sudden, he ended up bowing out of it. And, he left me to, work on getting the kids back on my own. And I remember, the guardian ad litem who was, in charge of the case, she made sure to let me know that he wasn't going to have to deal with any negative consequences for, bowing out of everything. I remember her saying, well, Deborah, you're doing a good job, and we hope you don't mind cleaning up the mess, because that's what you're going to have to do since you're the only one fighting for the kids. And, so they didn't even do anything to him. And I remember, during that whole process, just feeling absolutely helpless and just like, what am I supposed to do? I was still working full time, and thank God my boss let me take quite a bit of time off because of the fact I had to go to court. I had to do a anger management class, psychological evaluation, a bunch of parenting classes, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. It was not an easy road. I also remember, I was still, dealing with all this stuff when I was, like, super duper pregnant, and the social worker who was in charge of the case, we'll call him JD, he made sure to let me know that once my unborn child was born, that CPS is going to take her. So, in that moment, I was like, you know what? No, you're not touching another one of my kids, like, ever. So that's when I made the decision to give her up for adoption when she was born. And I ended up meeting her adoptive parents through one of my St. Vincent de Paul customers. So I, ended up getting together with them, and, they got to know me, got to know about, my background, blah, 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 this and that, signed a lot of paperwork, and, so while I'm doing all this, I'm still working full time, still doing all the services that CPS had, required me to do. So, I don't know, people are like, oh, hey, Deborah, you're so strong, I don't know if I could have made it through that. And, when I was doing what I had to do, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like, I was at my weakest point then. But then again, not really, if that makes any sense. You would have thought that I would have went off the deep end and been like, you know what, things aren't going to work out. Let me try to numb my feelings with drugs or alcohol or whatever. But no, that never once even crossed my mind at all. In fact, like even, back then, even when I wasn't pregnant, I barely ever even drank alcohol. I always like to say that back then I drank, once, maybe twice a month, if that. And even then it was like a can of beer or whatever, you know what I mean? So that was something that wasn't really an obstacle for me during this whole situation. And I remember, going into court, because I had to go into court a bunch of times, to advocate for myself and for my kids. I remember one time I went in in front of the judge and was told that Jay, he wasn't going to be there because he was in a motel room with this chick that he had met over the internet, met her, she lived in Alaska, and I guess she flew down here, so while he's hooking up with her in some random motel somewhere, I'm the one who's going into court, to fight for the children. He ended up dumping the one that he had left me for this last time, the one he had brought into court, with him to make, to try to make me very angry, which ended up working once once the court, that session was over, I remember screaming at this dude, right outside the courthouse, right near all them CPS workers and lawyers and stuff. I did not, I repeat, I did not care. So, yeah. But, yeah, so he ended up leaving her for this one that he met, in Alaska or whatever, and she flew down and blah, blah, blah. And, that was years ago. They're still together to this day and have a couple kids together, too. They're all living down in California, along with with the children. They're grown now. My son's 19, my daughter's 18. But, yeah, that's where they all are. Okay, let me think about what else happened. Jesus, so much stuff. And I'm also so proud of myself how I ended up finishing my entire day at work in labor. Yeah, but that's a story for another time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, but only if you want to. Stay safe out there, you guys. I love you. And God bless you all. Take it easy. Bye.